Canada is far more than just a land of snow-capped mountains and dense forests. It's a vast and varied tapestry woven from countless unique environments. It's a country of breathtaking contrasts, where the landscape shifts dramatically from one horizon to the next, offering a sensory feast for the eyes and a playground for the adventurous soul. From the jagged, snow-dusted peaks of the majestic Rockies, piercing the sky like ancient sentinels, to the seemingly endless golden prairies stretching out like a sun-kissed ocean of wheat, every region tells a different story, whispering tales of resilience, adaptation, and the raw power of nature. Each area boasts its own distinct character and charm. The Pacific Coast's ancient rainforests, shrouded in an ethereal mist that clings to the towering trees, creating an atmosphere of profound tranquility, stand in stark contrast to the sun-baked deserts, where cacti and hardy shrubs cling to life under the relentless heat. These arid landscapes define the unique beauty of the Okanagan Valley, nestled just inland, a testament to nature's ability to surprise and diversify. Cross the prairies and you'll eventually reach the Canadian Shield, a geological marvel forged over billions of years. It's a rugged expanse of pristine lakes, interconnected by winding rivers and ancient rock formations, sculpted by glaciers and time itself. On the Atlantic coast, dramatic cliffs, carved by the ceaseless pounding of waves and quaint fishing villages clinging to the rocky shores, meet the relentless ocean, a powerful force that has shaped the lives and livelihoods of generations. While far north beyond the reach of most, the tundra bursts to life in the brief Arctic summer, a fleeting explosion of color and activity before the long winter returns. Each unique landscape shapes the plants and animals that thrive within it, creating a delicate balance of life. It also shapes the culture and character of the people who call it home, forging a deep connection between humanity and the natural world. Grizzlies roam the mountains, powerful symbols of the wilderness. Bison graze the plains, their thundering hooves echoing across the vast grasslands, and polar bears patrol the Arctic ice, each perfectly adapted to their challenging world, a testament to the power of evolution. This incredible mosaic of ecosystems makes Canada remarkably resilient and rich in biodiversity, a treasure trove of natural wonders. It's a living library of natural history, offering invaluable insights into the past, present, and future of our planet. It's a place where nature's artistry is on breathtaking display at every turn, a constant source of inspiration and awe. To truly understand Canada, you must venture beyond the cities and experience its remarkable diversity firsthand, immersing yourself in its natural beauty. It is a land of endless wonder and discovery, a place where adventure awaits around every bend, and the possibilities are as vast as the landscape itself. To truly grasp the breathtaking diversity of Canada's landscapes, to understand the sheer scale of its natural wonders, we must embark on a journey back through billions of years. We need to delve into the very origins of this land, to witness the forces that have shaped it over unimaginable timescales. Our story begins with the Canadian Shield, a vast expanse of ancient rock, among the oldest geological formations on Earth. These rocks whisper tales of a time long before life as we know it existed. It forms the ancient geological core of the entire North American continent, a foundation upon which all else has been built. But the Shield's story is not one of quiet endurance alone. A colossal meteorite, a cosmic bullet of immense power, struck Ontario approximately 1.85 billion years ago, an event that reshaped the landscape in an instant. This cataclysmic impact created the Sudbury Basin, a scar on the Earth's surface that remains visible even today, and in its wake, it left behind a treasure trove of rich mineral deposits, resources that would later fuel industries and shape communities. While the Shield was being forged in fire and impact, volcanoes were actively shaping the West, creating dramatic landscapes and leaving behind dormant peaks like those that define British Columbia's Garibaldi Belt. These mountains stand as silent sentinels, their volcanic mountain peaks standing as stark reminders of the Earth's fiery origins and the powerful forces that lie beneath the surface. But the story doesn't end there. Over countless eons, the relentless grinding of tectonic collisions, the immense pressure of continental plates colliding, lifted mountains skyward and carved deep valleys into the landscape, slowly but surely building the very foundation for the diverse ecosystems and natural habitats that define Canada today. Yet perhaps the most powerful sculptor of all has been ice. During the repeated cycles of the last ice age, colossal glaciers, vast rivers of ice advanced and retreated, covering nearly the entire country under a crushing weight. These icy behemoths gouged out massive lakes and valleys, including the Great Lakes, a defining feature of the North American landscape. And as the climate warmed and the ice eventually retreated, it left behind a legacy of fertile plains, sculpted landscapes, and countless lakes, dotting the country like shimmering jewels. The Canada we see today, in all its majestic beauty, is a direct and undeniable inheritance from these immense geological forces, a testament to the power of nature's artistry. Its diverse and stunning landscapes are a living, breathing record of the interplay of volcanic fire, the enduring strength of ancient rock, and the relentless sculpting power of ice. Canada's vast size and northern reach create a climate of extremes. From the mild, wet Pacific coast to the scorching summers and frigid winters of the prairies, the country is a patchwork of weather. The coast mountains wring rain from Pacific air, feeding lush rainforests, while their leeward side is dry and desert-like. The prairies endure both heat waves and deep freezes, shaping the rhythm of life for plants, animals, and people. In the Arctic, endless summer sun gives way to months of darkness, creating a world of permafrost and tundra. These extremes are the architects of Canada's diverse natural realms. Every ecosystem is a unique response to the country's powerful climate. The Arctic, a realm of stark beauty, immense ice sheets, and a landscape that has captivated explorers and scientists for centuries. But this remote and seemingly immutable region is undergoing a dramatic transformation. Nowhere is the impact of climate change more pronounced, more visible, and more urgent than in the Canadian Arctic. This vast territory, a cornerstone of Canada's identity and a critical component of the global climate system, is experiencing changes at an unprecedented pace. Temperatures are rising here at twice the global average, a stark indicator of the Arctic's vulnerability and its role as an early warning system for the planet. This accelerated warming is not just a statistic, it's a force reshaping the entire Arctic ecosystem. The consequences are clear: melting sea ice at an alarming rate with profound implications for wildlife, weather patterns, and global sea levels. The very fabric of the Arctic ice is changing, becoming thinner and less extensive each year. The legendary Northwest Passage, a sea route that once represented an insurmountable barrier, a frozen challenge to explorers seeking a shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific, is now open for longer each summer, a testament to the dramatic loss of sea ice and a harbinger of further changes to come. This newfound accessibility is transforming global shipping routes, offering shorter and potentially more economical pathways for trade, but also raising concerns about environmental impacts and maritime security. Thawing permafrost, the once permanently frozen ground that underlies much of the Arctic, is destabilizing roads, buildings, and coastlines, threatening infrastructure and communities built upon it. As the permafrost thaws, it releases vast quantities of greenhouse gases, including methane, a potent warming agent, further accelerating the cycle of climate change. The Arctic's foundation, physical and cultural, is under threat. Its delicate ecosystems, and the traditional ways of life that have sustained communities for generations, are facing unprecedented challenges. This rapid environmental change is endangering indigenous ways of life, disrupting hunting patterns, threatening food security, and forcing communities to adapt to a rapidly changing world. Beneath the melting ice lie untapped reserves of oil, resources that have long been inaccessible but are now within reach as the ice recedes. Vast reserves of natural gas, a potential source of energy for a world grappling with climate change, but also a source of potential environmental risk, and a wealth of minerals, valuable resources that could fuel economic development but also pose a threat to the fragile Arctic environment. This newfound accessibility is sparking a new race for resources and sovereignty, as nations vie for control of the Arctic's vast potential. The region's transformation has profound economic and geopolitical implications, reshaping international relations and creating new opportunities and challenges for nations around the world. The melting Arctic is redrawing the world map, literally altering coastlines and opening up new sea routes, forcing us to reconsider our understanding of geography and geopolitics. This places Canada at the center of a new era, with a responsibility to protect its northern frontier and to lead the way in sustainable Arctic development. The future of this fragile region hangs in the balance, dependent on the choices we make today and the actions we take to mitigate climate change. What happens here will echo far beyond the north, impacting global climate patterns, sea levels, and the lives of people around the world. The Arctic's fate is inextricably linked to our own. Canada is a guardian of the planet's life support systems. Its vast boreal forest acts as a green lung, absorbing carbon and releasing oxygen, crucial in the fight against climate change. The country holds 20% of the world's surface fresh water, with rivers and lakes that sustain people, wildlife, and agriculture. These forests and waters support incredible biodiversity, from grizzlies and moose to billions of migratory birds. Wetlands purify water and nurture countless species, while salmon carry ocean nutrients deep into the forests. Yet these assets face threats from logging, mining, pollution, and climate change. Industrial activity fragments forests and pollutes waterways, while invasive species disrupt delicate balances. The challenge to benefit from these resources without destroying the ecosystems that sustain them. Canada's stewardship is vital for the world's health. For thousands of years, Indigenous peoples, First Nations, Inuit and Métis, have been the original stewards of this land. Their traditional knowledge, rooted in reciprocity and respect, offers a blueprint for sustainable living. Practices like controlled burning and selective harvesting ensured the long-term health of ecosystems. Colonization brought dispossession and cultural suppression, but Indigenous communities continue to lead environmental protection efforts. Today, co-management of lands and resources is gaining ground, recognizing Indigenous rights and wisdom. Healing the relationship between peoples and the land is central to Canada's future. The fate of the land is inseparable from the fate of its original stewards. Canada's story is one of migration and diversity. Waves of newcomers have created a multicultural society, each bringing unique relationships with nature. For many, especially in cities, access to green spaces remains a challenge. Community gardens and adapted agricultural practices enrich urban and rural landscapes alike. Inclusive conservation must recognize these diverse connections to the land. Building bridges between communities is key to a shared vision for sustainability. Protecting nature means ensuring it's part of every Canadian's life. Few issues divide Canada like the battle over pipelines. Projects like the Trans Mountain expansion pit economic interests against environmental concerns and Indigenous rights. Proponents see jobs and prosperity. Opponents warn of ecological disaster and climate risks. Many First Nations oppose the pipeline, citing threats to land, water, and culture, and inadequate consultation. Legal challenges and protests have made pipelines a symbol of Indigenous sovereignty. The debate is about more than infrastructure. It's a struggle over Canada's future direction. The outcome will shape the nation's identity for generations. Canada stands at a crossroads, facing choices that will define its legacy. One path continues resource extraction, the other prioritizes sustainability and reconciliation. The stakes are global. Canada's forests, waters, and wilderness are critical to the planet. Decisions made now will ripple far beyond its borders. The challenge transition to a greener economy, honor Indigenous rights, and protect fragile ecosystems. The future depends on courage, innovation, and collective action. The choice is ours. Will Canada be a wise steward, or squander its inheritance?